Hello, viewers, and welcome once again to my channel Viewpoint with Sajal. People, in continuation to what is happening in Russia and Ukraine war, specifically the damage that is going on, which is now being estimated maybe around $100 billion, and the country has actually now been gone behind maybe what by 20 years, 25 years, or something like that. So I would like to now put a couple of quick points, a few quick points why we Indians must stand by Russia. People, we need to understand that China and Russia both are communist countries. So I'm just giving you the pointers. China is also a communist country. Russia is also a communist country. This is the similarity. Besides this, post India gained its independence, so-called independence, which was nothing more than a transfer of power that was done on the 15th of August 1947. India, during the Second World War era, or maybe the Cold War era, decided to be non-aligned, which means that India would not fall in any kind of military alliances. To which United States of America always, be it any of their presidents or the Western world, they tried plotting against India, and they saw that India is going towards then Soviet Union. However, India also did not engage itself in a bonding or a marriage with then Soviet Union, or even today with Russia. But then there were a couple of pacts that United States did, which was namely CETO. One of them is called Southeast Asian Treaty Organization, CETO, to which the Pakistan, it jumped into it. It virtually jumped into it because they wanted American money, they wanted aid, they wanted everything. They had nothing. And no democracy, no values, no constitution, nothing. And we can see it even today that I'm speaking with you. Till this time, there is no constitution that prevails there. So what happened rather, that during the 65 war, be it 71 war, it was okay, one more thing. Israel came to our, help. However, after independence, India voted against recognizing Israel in United Nations. Thanks to then our intellectual leadership, so much so that United Nations Security Council seat that was offered to India was given on a platter to China. Wow! So now China has been vetoing anything and everything against India and in favor of Pakistan. However, when it came to 65 war, 71 war, it was the naval fleet, which is called the Seventh Fleet of at that time it was called the Seventh Fleet of United States, which comprised of an aircraft carrier, along with frigates, along with coverts, and that was being prolonging, and that was advancing to attack the western coast of India. So much so that America actually provoked China to attack India. So we were left with nobody, virtually with nobody, and that was the time when two of our friends, they stood with us. One is Russia, the other one is Israel. Barring and ignoring any and all kind of foreign relations, Russia did supply us the military aid. Israel did supply us the military aid, and Russia did embark to save India from the Seventh Fleet of United States of America that was advancing towards us, to contain it there. So much so that Soviet Union, or today what you call as Russia, then Soviet Union, also did silent China. But if you do anything, any activity out there against India, you will have to pay a price on the other front that is there with them. So people, today, now this is history. You can read it over Google, you can do as much of research as much you want to. Now let's compare this with United States. This is one country wherever they have landed militarily, they have always landed only and only to solve their purpose, to make billions and millions of dollars for their companies like Lockheed Martin, Airbus, General Electric, etc., etc. If there is a peace in the world, US economy will collapse. And that is what precisely they're doing right now in Ukraine. How come this gentleman, I would still call him because he's a dignified president of Ukraine, so still I would give all regards with humility. How come he can put the entire country to such a massive disaster? And what has happened is, again, I'm reiterating what has happened is that the plan of United States and the Western world, I mean, Ukraine has been caught into their trap. It's very much in their trap. And this so-called comedian turned president or a politician, I would not even call him a politician. If you see in India, I mean, 6 years, 7 years old kid also knows what are the political parties India is contesting in within, how things are happening. And this guy, he is not even having a tenure of 3 years. He is hardly 2 years and 11 months into politics. And just because this was the right time, that was being sensed by the Western world. And look what destruction is taking place. My appeal to all fellow Indians living in India or abroad, let us run a campaign. I'll surely be starting a campaign very soon to support Russia. I may run another campaign to support United States if I see a history of at least 300 years of United States being loyal and a true friend to India in the testing times. Only then I will call United. I mean, I don't go by these all, fancy terminologies, so-called as strategic partners. I can give assurance to all my fellow countrymen, to all Indians across the globe, that this so-called quad that has been formed, wherein India, United States, Australia, Japan are the partners, and they're inviting, I mean, India is actually trying to invite France also into that. I mean, this is something which will not serve the purpose. Because none of the organizations, these, kind of organization groups have ever been a success. Check the history for CETO, and now you can very well see what is happening with NATO. After so many, I mean, I would say the worst kind of sanctions being imposed on Russia, still Germany and UK are still buying the gas, they're still buying oil from Russia. They cannot afford to do that, to which United States has to issue a statement that within a period of about a year, this would also end. So you will take about a year. Until then, you would allow your NATO partners to keep transacting and importing oil and gas. Perfect. So you morally and ethically claim no right to stop any other country importing oil and gas, be it from Iran or be it from Russia. And India will not bow down at all. The Russians have already offered us a 27, around approximately 27% of discount with landed oil on the Mumbai ports. What best we can ever go ahead with. I would like to take you to, a little bit back, rewind your memories to 1998, when our dear Prime Minister, late Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he conducted the nuclear tests. Let me also honestly accept here that had it been not late our dear Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, this nuclear program under the Gandhi family would have collapsed. The preparation was done, and late Narasimha Rao was a true Indian. He was a patriot, though he spent his entire life in the Congress party, but then he actually was a true son of the soil. And so was his predecessor, which was dear Mr. Late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Coming from different. All right, so I would not, this is something domestic, which I will cover sometime later. But today, I request all Indians to support my video, put your comments, Even try to watch Russian media, follow them, try and support them. Please, again, what I'm saying is I'm not against Ukraine. I'm not publicizing or putting any kind of publicity against Ukrainians or Ukraine as a country. But then, yes, of course, this comedian turned president, he has ruined the entire nation. And this fellow, who's been, made as a superhero by the Western world, is a true culprit. And this is something which the Ukrainians must realize. He was bumping and jumping in the anticipation that NATO will come to his rescue, US forces will come into his rescue. Sir, excuse me, you are dealing with Russia. Moreover, you're dealing with Putin. Like you are trying, in case you want to deal with our dear Prime Minister Modi. These guys are, made out of steel. They're headstrong. They're headstrong. They don't care. They simply do not care. Because they know that whatever we can do ourselves. Even if the world economies want to contain us, we have other ways with us. We are the okay, for India rather, we are a land with 70%, more than 70% of agriculture. Can we ever start? Because during the war, that is the second biggest challenge. First is armament, the second is starvation. So the world knows us. The world knows us. So my friends, I would request all of you, please join my campaign on this video. Put in the comments simply that we support Russia. We do support Russia. We do support Putin, not because we are anti-Ukraine, but yes, of course, because we are anti the Western world's policies that they can play games at any corner of the world. And this is something which I want to send a challenge and an indication to the world against America. This is not done. You've been destroying world. We know that your economy only depends upon warfare, and that's about it. So guys, stand by me, stand by Russia. Let's support Putin, the time and tested friend of ours. We have a long history. Okay, maybe 100 years down the line, 200 years maybe down the line, if at all, America proves to our ages, to our generations to come that yes, they are our true friends, then probably we can see. One more thing, very, very important. America calls us a strategic partner rather. Let me pronounce it in their form of English, which is the most vulgar kind of an English they use. Did ever India and Russia propagated or pronounced each other multi times that we are the strategic partners? Never. We only talk about our deep relations, our friendship. That's about it. So that is how our relation must progress. So all right, fine enough. Today we are making merry with America. So be it. Let's see how much of sense prevails with this so-called 80 years of Biden, 80-year-old Biden, rather. Let's see how it happens. I mean, things will definitely be crystal clear in next 10 years or maybe 15 years as far as Indo-US ties are concerned. But make my words, if India does not stand with Russia at this time, reciprocate what Russia has always done with India, we shall be inviting troubles for ourselves. So all right, people, think about it, and let me catch you on the other side on my next video. Until then, please join my campaign in liking this particular video, spreading it, and this video I'll be promoting internationally. So all right, thanks very much. If you want to put any comments, you're more than welcome. Do subscribe, like, share, and do not forget to press the bell icon. Thanks very much.